Got a special request this time from a local businessman that asked me if I could take a look at his vintage family Christmas display. These are little dancing snowmen, and they're not working apparently. And he'd like to see if I can get it to go. He says one doesn't work and the other three do, but I actually found that, well, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. Wait till you see the wiring on this thing. You'll shake your head. Every year at Christmas, I get people bringing me their light displays that don't work properly, and this year is no different, no exception. These are dancing snowmen, and one of them doesn't appear to dance. Love this. This is how it came in. Yeah, okay, I think we can probably clean this up, but let's just plug it in first of all and see what's going on. Well, they light up. Now they're supposed to dance. They're supposed to move. They're lighting up, so we got power. I was told that this one doesn't work. I don't think there's any switches or anything. They're supposed to move on their own. I don't see any movement. I was lied to. I was told that they all worked except for one. I was lied to. None of them appear to be working. They're lighting up and that's all they're doing. They're supposed to move. I see that there's this as well. Is this supposed to be connected to a battery? It's got a red and a black. Is this supposed to be connected to some type of a power supply? Possibly. Possibly this is connected to a power supply. Let's just put 3 volts in and see what happens. Nothing. But let's turn the voltage up. Well, that one's working. Why aren't the rest of them working? It's probably supposed to be 12 volts. I'm guessing 12 volts. That 12 volts is drawing 1.3 amps. Give it 6 volts. That's probably more like it. Obviously these have a little motor in them, a little gearbox, and I guess he said this one was not working, but I think it's probably this one. This one doesn't seem to be moving as much, so let's see why it's not moving. I think this is maybe part of the problem right here. Wires that are coming apart. I do believe this is where our problem is with this one. It's just a poor wiring by the guy that made this thing. We're going to solder these wires together and put them in some heat shrink. I think that's the solution here. We'll just get some heat shrink tubing going here. One of these is the input power, obviously. That one. And then this one here feeds the others. Looks like 2 of them are on one and the other 2. Okay, where's this one? Why is this one not working? Anyway, we gotta fix this. Either solder them and tape them, or probably heat shrink is probably the way to go on these, just because, you know, they'll be out. I mean, this mess is, well, the 120 volt ones, it's like, my God, this is amateur hour. This is how I got it like this. We're gonna clean this mess up because, you know, this is something that's used outside in the wet weather. Yeah, probably not a good idea. Although there's nothing really exposed. They've got everything in a moret here, so there's nothing really exposed to the rain. But might be able to make it look a little neater. This is not a paid job, by the way. This is a guy that I know, and he said, "Come on into the restaurant, and I'll give you a free meal. I'll buy you dinner if you fix my." If you fix my dancing snowman. So, fixing the dancing snowman is what we're going to do. So we'll start by placing some heat shrink tubing over one of them, and we'll just connect the other 2 together over here. And maybe we'll turn the power off while we're doing this. connect those two there. Connect this one over here as well, and then solder these wires together, and then bring that heat shrink tubing down and seal the deal. Finally ran out of solder. I spent the earlier part of today fixing my, oh my god, what did I buy? What did I buy? Ah, jeez. It's thinner. I like the heavier. This is 0.8 millimeter. When I was picking it up, I wasn't paying attention, and I got 0.8 millimeter instead of 1 millimeter. What I was getting at was had a couple of light bulbs burn out in the house, so the warden was telling me to fix them on my day off, and the light bulbs that burned out were on the stove. One of them was in the range hood, and well, you can't get incandescent bulbs anymore that fit. They got all these stupid LEDs now, right? Nothing wrong with LEDs. The LED light looks very good, but the built-in range hood had a dimmer, a light dimmer on it, and anyway, the LED does not like the light dimmer, and it sits there and it flickers. So I had to pull the whole range hood apart and disconnect the dimmer, and I just put a toggle switch on the front. Looks like hell, but I put a toggle switch on the front now for the light. So on the phone last night with an old friend who has just discovered edibles. It was hilarious. He's talking to me on the phone, and well, let's just say he was out there somewhere around where Pluto is. He was exploring space. I don't know who laughed harder, him or me. Okay, that one is never going to give us trouble again. And this one here is going to give us trouble, though, unless we do something about it. So we're going to do something about this one as well. I should probably do the same on the 120 volt wires. But anyway, with this old friend that I was on the phone with, it was making absolutely no sense. It was hilarious. Of course, we've had legal weed here in Canada for, well, seems like forever, but it's been, I don't know, 9 or 10 years, something like that. And there's one on every corner, and I guess people are still discovering it for the first time. Not that I would know anything about that, but it was funny. They don't look like they're moving now. And I turn on the lights and they light up. Okay, I think that's running them on 6 volts. That's probably what they ran on, was a 6 volt battery or something. I think now, I think I'm going to redo these. Let's see how they look first of all. Well, they look fine, except for the one that's ready to break. But all right, let's just re-terminate the wires. My hands still feel like they got grease on them. You know, I've washed them about 20 times after dealing with the hood fan to fix the light bulb in there, but that could be the greasiest thing in your house is the fan that's over top of the range. It's just absolutely disgusting, the amount of grease that's there. So we'll twist these all together and then bring the other one in from the other side and solder them up and throw that heat shrink on. I guess the story behind this is it's the fellow that gave it to me. It's been in his family for years, so he's kind of wanting to get it back in service. And you get this over top of this entire junction here, cover it completely. Like that. And then we'll throw some heat on there. And that will seal this up. Keep people's fingers out. Remove this tape. We're going to remove this other moret and do it right. Get all the wires soldered like on the other side. It just makes it for a neater and less problematic connection. Although there was nothing really wrong with this. These are just temporary lights that go out on display for a few weeks. So it's not like it's the end of the world, but we'll try to keep it as neat as possible and as safe as possible. There, they don't all light up now. Why is one of them not lighting? What the hell? I think I know why it's not lighting. One of the wires pulled out of the bottom here, out of the light itself. I got to take this apart now. More work. Anything else that holds this thing on? Possibly. Oh, okay, that's how it's done. Ah, there's the wire broken right there. Oh, what the hell? Really? Really? This is how they've connected them? You've got to be kidding. You've got to be kidding. That's the light. I've now seen everything. Hopefully this is the only one that's like that, but I have a feeling the others will be like it too. When I look at the rest of how the rest of the wiring was on here, yeah, I think they're probably all going to be botched like this. But I'm going to fix this one that's botched and leave it at that. They took a piece of broomstick and stuffed it into the bottom, and that's how they're holding these things onto this 2x4. Yeah, it's should play the Mickey Mouse club theme. I'm going to do that once in a while. Play the Mickey Mouse club theme when I see sheet like this, but so in the process of trying to improve and make things safer, I broke it. Okay, well, I fixed it now. It lights up. They all light up. Good. Now I just got to reattach this back to the base. Someone got creative when they decided to attach these things with these little dowels here made out of it's like a broomstick. I got to unscrew this and screw it back in there. What did I just drop? I just dropped something. Oh, the roll of solder. That's what landed on my foot. That's going to leave a mark. Don't let work say find that one out. They'll be telling me I got to wear steel toe boots in my own shop. This has got to go on like this. Goes down all the way and then it screws in. I guess that's how it goes on, like that. We'll turn them up the right way and fire them up. Lights are on, they all light. Power's on for the there. I do believe that that's what they're supposed to do. They're all moving. I'll say this one's fixed. Awful lot of work for a free hamburger. Catch you in the next one. Bye.